right now. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you at and what time you're listening to the show. This is your man King George, and from Eureka Day, I've got the fabulous Gabrielle Lott Rogers on the phone. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm wonderful, wonderful. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're here in the wintertime. It's not always this bad, but have you been to Chicago before you did the play?
I'm actually from Chicago.
Oh, that's all
Born,
right, because you
born and raised in the Hyde Park area. Yeah.
oh, right where the station is. So you're aware of the University of Chicago.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about yourself and your company.
And my company?
You were the people presenting the play because this is not the first play you did with them.
No, it's not. So you mean about timeline?
Yeah,
Okay,
about
I can
time
tell you.
life. And
Okay,
I
I got you.
started not to say it because I thought I was going to be talking about the magazine.
No, it's timeline. Yeah, timeline theater. Okay, so first about me, I was born and raised in Chicago. Went to the University of Chicago schools for lab school.
Okay.
Attended a I started at Kenwood, ended up somewhere else because our family transitioned, and then came back here in my adult years after going to Illinois State University down in Normal, and after serving in the military. And I came back and started my theatrical career here in the city. So, timeline. Is that a lot? Was that too much information?
Oh, that was more than enough. I needed all that, but it
Did
could
you?
continue. Yeah, I didn't know you was a veteran.
Yes, I am. I'm a
Okay,
veteran of the
and
United
thank you
States
for your
Army.
service.
It was my honor. So then I started my theatrical and television and uh, screen career here in Chicago. My agents are DDO Artist Agency out of Chicago, and I've done television and some film, and then I've also done some stage productions. And Timeline was I was first introduced to Timeline in 2023,
Okay.
and I did a play there about Hattie McDaniel, which was a world premiere called Boulevard of Bold Dreams that did really well. And I just love the company. They're really they really do what they say they do. They believe what they say they believe. You know, that's a thing. But anyway, they're great. So then I was introduced to them, and we had a good time. And so when this play came up, I jumped at the opportunity to work with the company. And more importantly, for me in this was the director, who is Lillian Brown, who is basically uh, directorial royalty here in Chicago. The last thing she did here was The Color Purple
Oh
at
wow.
the Goodman. Yeah, she directed that, but she's directed so much other stuff that has just been wonderful here. And I really wanted to work with her. So I got an opportunity. So Eureka Day is my second production with Timeline. They are actually opening a wonderful facility,
Yeah,
brand
I
new
read
building.
that in the briefs, and I was saying I can't wait till it opens.
Oh, it's going to be fabulous. The next play is going to be Enemy of the People, and that'll be the first play in the new playhouse. And it's built from scratch. It'll have a restaurant and
Wow.
coffee shop and resource places and rehearsal spaces and a big theater. So
Where where is it going to be located?
it's on North Broadway, 5500, 55. I don't want to misquote the address, but I think it's 5539 North Broadway. So it's a wonderful, wonderful space, and something like that has not happened in the city in a very long time. You're talking something on the scale of a Steppenwolf, or that hasn't happened, and so we're really excited for Timeline. They've been a company for 29 years, and they are really
And
doing the
obviously
thing.
successful because they built a
Absolutely.
building from scratch.
Absolutely.
How big is the theater?
I'm not sure exactly how big this theater will be, but I know the facility is like an entire building, and
Oh
it's big
wow.
enough to yeah, it's nice. The design is online. If you're interested, just look up Timeline Theater, and the new facility is sitting right there. It's practically done. So
Oh,
we're the last play that'll be outside of the house because temporarily they've been doing shows in other locations. The first show will be directed by a wonderful director. You might have heard of him. His name is Ron O.J. Parsons. He is a resident director at Court Theater over here in Hyde Park at the University of Chicago. And he usually does a lot of August Wilson pieces for Goodman and Court. He is directing their inaugural production. He's also a Timeline member. He
oh,
sits on their
okay.
board. So he's directing their first piece. So come out and see that one too.
Okay, yeah, and I was looking at your biography. You played a lot. You just said, but the Hattie McDaniel you did on Boulevard of Bold Dreams, but you
Mm-hmm.
did Nina Simone in Four Women, and I've
I
seen
did.
Four Women before, and
Have
that's a
you?
fabulous play.
Yes, it's wonderful. Where did you see it at? I wonder if you. So I'll tell you where we did it. We did it in Kansas City. I was on a rep tour, a repertory tour. I did Kansas City, and then I came back and did it at Milwaukee. And so we were in Milwaukee, and where we finished the show out at. It was a wonderful production, and it was some powerhouses. Brittany Mack, who went to
Wow,
Broadway, uh, playing the Queen of Eads in Six. She went to Broadway doing that a few years back, and she was just in The Color Purple. She started Celie and Goodman at the Goodman. So
wow,
it had an all-star cast. Alexis Ralston has been in a number of things. Extraordinary singer, well known for a one-woman show. Well, not a one-woman show, but I forget what they call it. Like kind of like a. It's kind of like a one-woman show, but it was about Billie Holiday called
wow.
Lady Day. And it's a wonderful piece, and she's just an extraordinary singer. So it was really a fantastic undertaking.
Do
We had a
you
lot of fun.
sing?
I do sing. I
I
don't sing as
figured.
often anymore, but I do sing.
Yeah, cause I was I just it didn't I see a few musicals in your thing, but
Hmm. I
I didn't
started in
know.
musical theater. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
how did you get your start? Yeah, cause your story is a little bit different because you did a few things in life before you went into acting.
I did. I was a full person by the time I transitioned into this career. I had an entire life. How? Okay. Well, when I first went to college, I went as a biological sciences major
Okay.
because I come from a family that says you need a job, and acting was not
In a job.
and you know what I mean? You can do that
Especially if your
on your
family does what your family
okay, right?
does.
So it got to a point where my face was just kind of pressed up against the fine arts window building at school, and I said, you know, I really want to do this. But my mother, she tells stories all the time now about how I was just a performer from the age of 3.
Oh
You know,
wow.
just unafraid of the, but that part of me was not, that wasn't the time I grew up in. It was important for us to solidify ourselves in the community and society, to give back, to go to church. That's the environment that I grew up in. And the theatrics or uh, careers in the arts was really kind of a an outreach. You know what I mean? Kind of like an outstretched idea. You really had to think about out of the box. When you think about artists, you think about being, starving artists and people not really making it. And so security, and I don't blame anybody in my family. I think they did a wonderful job with me. I think they just had different ideas of what was important at that time, but long since changed.
So
Long since changed.
okay, give my audience who hasn't been to see Eureka Day. I've been to see it and I loved it, uh, and you were fabulous. But
Thank you.
give them a quick synopsis of the
A
play.
synopsis of it. Okay. Eureka Day is about a private progressive school, grammar school in Berkeley, California. There, it is surrounded, or it is stemmed from the executive board of this private school, which consists of 5 parents. Um, Every parent on the board has been there. My character, Karina, is a new character.
Right.
And she is coming into the environment for the first time, learning how this school navigates. She's excited about being there because, they claim to be progressive and have this forward thinking, ideologies. And as things unfold, we find out that it's not quite as progressive as we had hoped. And at the onset of a mumps outbreak, we really see where people stand in their positions. And it is a battle of finding out what's best for the community and implementing that into the school. And you find out that there are several different ideas of what's appropriate for a vaccine. What I love about the play is it's very human. It doesn't stereotype anybody, doesn't put anybody in a
No,
box.
it doesn't.
It just allows you to see human nature based on what your experience is, your life experience. And so there's no judgment. It's just people living and how we interact. And I think that's where the comedy comes in, because it is extremely funny too. But the funny things in life happen from human interaction. Real interaction is funny. And that's what I think Jonathan Spector, the playwright, did a fabulous job of doing. And that was fleshing out everyone's voice. And ultimately a decision has to be made, but everybody gets heard.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me because of COVID times.
Yes.
Because I don't know when he wrote it, but it seemed like was in his mind when he wrote it. He may have did it way before COVID, but again, the human relationship and everybody in the play, I felt I met each one of them before through somebody I know.
I was really glad to hear that. We hear that a lot, and so that means that we're doing our jobs as actors, because we just didn't want them to be like a Karen or a hard Karina, or a flighty Mako, one of the other parents who just was swinging back and forth. We wanted them to be real, fleshed out people with real concerns, and just coming from life, from what they know. That's what we all do. Based on your experiences is how you navigate issues and concerns in your life. And we just wanted them to be really fleshed out. So the cast would be, ecstatic to hear that that was your opinion of it.
Oh yeah, they were great. It reminded me, what did they say back in the 30s, like my favorite reporter, or those kind of things. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
And it was real quick and witty.
Yes, yes, we like that. It was actually written before the pandemic,
Okay.
so it was very. I don't know if he, if he had a premonition about something, but we've been talking about vaccines for a long time, so it's not a new. It goes away, it comes back, it goes away, it comes back. Right now, it's in the news with Robert Kennedy, and that whole debacle. But that,
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you said it,
you know,
but
but
but I
yeah,
agree. But I
we've been
agree.
talking about it. We've been talking about it for a while, and then the pandemic hit it. So that's why this play feels so relevant.
Yeah,
Relevant
because
right now.
I didn't know if it was before the pandemic, because the conversations sound just like the conversations that were going on when COVID hit.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Just really smart writing.
yeah, yeah, and you guys are very smart, very funny, because and I want to do it, and this might be a spoiler alert, but when y'all had the conversation online, that was ridiculous. That was, people were rolling in the aisles. I don't want to give away the play, but any
No,
of y'all that go, when they go online for the meeting with the rest of the families, oh, and I know that's how the actual conversations go.
that's what
Cause
makes it so funny. Because everybody can relate to being on a Zoom or being on a virtual call where things just go really haywire. Yeah, it's incredibly funny, and we can barely hear ourselves for all the laughter in the audience.
yeah, that don't throw y'all off.
No, we've become accustomed to it now, so we kind of just keep dredging through. It's really funny to us because we find other stuff to do while everybody is just engaged in that whole conversation, because it brings the whole audience into this Zoom call, and everybody is like a participant
Yes,
almost in
yes,
this Zoom call. You know,
yeah, and that's fantastic. How did you get the role? Did you audition, or did when they said we're gonna do a tour with it, we want to bring Gabrielle into it? Or how did you get the part?
I've actually worked with Lily Ann Brown before,
Okay,
and that's the director, and she's directed all over the place, in New York, Baltimore, everywhere, and she's Helen Hayes Award winner,
wow,
multiple Jeff winner. She's amazing. I actually got the opportunity to shadow, because I'm directing two now.
okay,
Shadow her directing at the Goodman when she did The Color Purple, and we had some conversations, and I just really like her as a human. Like she's good people, as we used to say. You know
okay.
what I mean?
She's a good person, yeah.
She's a good person, and she said, I I'm gonna send you something.
Okay,
And it was it was the script, and then I found out that she had asked if I could do the role. She wanted to cast me straight out,
oh, okay.
so
So
I
she
was
had you in
fortunate.
mind
She
when she was
I
casting.
How fortunate I am, because I was like, this is a real opportunity, so
And
and
it's
I
a
wanted to
great
work with
part.
her, and it's a great part, and it's a great play, and it feels a lot like me.
Okay.
Like, I'm kind of that way, kind of grounded, kind of, straightforward, and I think she saw that. I think she's brilliant at picking out the essence of people and figuring out how to cast that way, because I think everyone that's in the play is exactly the right person.
Yeah, because everybody seems like they fit because
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
was the Karen type. And, well, again, I don't want to spoil it for folks who's going to see it. How long will you guys be here? I know y'all got another week or two.
Yes, we close on February 22nd, so
Okay, folks got
I
plenty
think
of
we
time.
have 30 more performances. And today, as a matter of fact, on the 30th, um, there's Broadway in Chicago runs a deal, a special on the play tickets, and they are $30 on the 30th. And
Wow.
it's not for today's play, but you have to purchase them today. And you can do that through Broadway in Chicago, you can do it through Timeline, or you can do it through Ticketmaster. So all of those shows that are available on those dates are $30. So they're $30 seats. So yeah, and the theater's wonderful.
Well,
There
the
really
theater is
isn't a
wonderful because it's not a bad seat in the
There's
house.
not a bad seat in the house, and I try to tell people that. Don't worry about it; it'll be fine. Whatever you get, just get here, and you can hear us because we're mic'd. So you'll see everything, you'll hear everything.
Yeah, and like you said, every seat is a good seat. And you can hear. I almost said the lyrics, but you can hear the script and everybody. And again, because it's kind of intimate, is
Hmm.
that's why I know the laughter kind of can get to you guys sometimes.
It's so loud. It's so loud sometimes. Sometimes it's funny to us how loud it is, because we're like, all these people in here can just super relate to this meeting. They can relate to this call.
Everybody has been in a meeting like that.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yep.
Okay, you already said it, but I asked it of everybody I interview, be it an actor, a singer, or a playwright, or a musician. Can you think of and yours came later than most folks, although maybe not. But can you think back and when the paradigm shift hit you and you said, well, I may be a soldier or I might become a policeman or a teacher, but what I want to do is entertain. Or I want to be an actor or actress and I want to be in show business. Can you remember that when that hit you?
I can. um, I did not know what it was. My mother tells the story better than me, but I will tell it. I was 8 years old.
Okay.
I was in New York, and I was taken to see The Wiz.
Okay.
It had just opened. And so I got a chance to see Andre DeShields, Stephanie
Oh
Mills, Mabel
wow.
King.
Oh
I
wow.
saw the original Broadway cast, and I was mesmerized, and something was ignited on the inside of me. My mother says it happened before that, but that's the thing there that was palpable for me. And it really felt like full circle when I come back around and I actually got to play the role of Dorothy in The Wiz.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, it was monumental. But the decision that said I'm going to be the actor, I'm going to do that, was about 15 years ago. It's about 15 years ago that said that I'm going to give this a try and
Okay.
really go
And
all the way to the wall.
what was the emphasis for that?
Um, it was a show that I did. Someone asked me to perform in a show, and I just remembered how much I enjoyed that experience, and said that I think I can do this for a living. And if my grandmother and my mother used to say, if you can go to bed thinking about it and wake up thinking about it, and you would do it for free,
Okay.
that's
That's the
that's
key.
when you know. That's when you know. That's when
Yeah,
you know.
because you were in the service and you were used to regular salary, and you can't get used to that if you're an actor or a singer or anything like that. Because if you're in the arts, you're not guaranteed any payment. You just most of folks do it for the love.
Absolutely. And that's where it starts. I think anything that God blesses you with, a talent, I think it's already in you. And so, your passion is connected to your purpose. I'll put it that way.
I like
So
that.
whatever it is you're passionate about, it's connected to your purpose. And if you're functioning in your purpose, then provision will be there. It's my P theory. Don't worry about it. This is stuff I tell myself. But if you're ever in doubt, walk in that purpose, that feeling that this is where you should be, and it's usually connected to your purpose. And sometimes I mean, talk to God about it. He'll tell you, he'll guide you, and you'll get there.
And you kind of know when you're little. When I was a little, not that the interview is about me, but when I was a little, I think I was about 9 or 10. I
Hmm.
used to have my own TV show, and
See,
I would interview Frank Sinatra or the guys, Gary Cooper, the guys I
there
seen
you
in
go.
movies. And I said, "This is the George Smith show," and we got Frank
Hmm.
Sinatra, and we wasn't staying in the house then, but we got present. But I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Isn't that amazing? So that means you came there with that. You were exposed to the things. You came there with that. You're doing the same thing right now. I'm
Yeah,
doing the same thing I was doing when I was a little girl and I was performing and doing. I'm doing the same thing. We come here with that purpose. We come here with with that provision inside of us that is supposed to gift the world. And so I always ask people, "What's your contribution? What's your contribution to the world?" And people look at me like, "Oh, well, I do this." No, 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 no. What were
no,
you designed to do?
yes, thank you.
Well, you know what I mean?
And
What were you
I saw a
designed to
little
do?
cartoon, a little sketch cartoon, and they asked this question: "It was what are you doing for the world today?"
There
And
it
and
is.
and everybody said, "No, what are you going to do for the world today?"
I know that's
And
right.
it is deeper than just a gig or a
That's right.
profession. It's gotta, like you say, it's gotta be a passion, because you don't really people don't get in show business if you want to make money, because
Mm-mm.
you may never make money.
Mm-mm.
Money is never guaranteed, and
Mm.
every big star you seen had a struggling point.
Absolutely. There are lots of dues
Nobody
to be
got
played.
big without suffering a little bit.
Absolutely. Everybody was broke at one point, trying to figure out how
Trying
to
to
make
figure
it.
it out.
Trying to figure it out, and you realize you got to have multiple streams of income, because relying just on the arts, most people can't do that. Even the people that you see and that you idolize on the television and on big screen, they complain about money issues. So imagine what the common everyday day actor is going through. We got to figure out ways to supplement income, but as long as you know that that's what it is, never get caught up in the support thing. Sometimes you do. Sometimes everything has to shift depending on what the need is of the family. But, you know, always come back to that thing that's attached to your purpose. Because if you just stay with it, just don't abort the process. And even though it looks, every experience is a learning experience. Even if you don't gain a whole lot monetarily, you made contacts, you were able to network, you learned something new about your craft, it
Right.
made you a better person. Those are wins. Those are wins. And you stack those wins, and before you know it, you got a wall. You done built a wall. You done built a monument of some kind, and then you can stand on it and see a little higher, and you keep on stacking until you can get to where you can see yourself clear. That's just, if anything, I would say to people who aspire to be in the arts,
Okay.
love it, love it, um, love it enough to understand that it's not always going to be easy, and don't give up on it just because it's hard.
That's right, and that's a great philosophy. Tell them one more time about the play, where it is, and today would be a great day to get tickets
It
because
would be.
they can go any day of the run, but they have to buy them today.
Yes. So you can go any of the days that they're offering. So let me first by saying Eureka Day is a timeline production that is playing at the Broadway Playhouse at the Water Tower building. Most people know where that is, right next door to the Ritz Carlton, down on North Chestnut. Um, it runs every day except Monday, Tuesday through Sunday, with 2 shows on Saturday and 2 shows on Sunday. There isn't 2 shows this Sunday. You can get tickets at the Playhouse itself. You can get tickets through the website at Timeline or Broadway in Chicago, or you can get them for Ticketmaster. Today is $30 tickets. And for those tickets down there, because this is actually considered Broadway in Chicago, these are fresh shows right off Broadway with touring casts and regional casts that are really good. And so they charge a little more for those tickets. But if you can catch a deal, you can get in and see it good. Today is 30 for 30, and right now it is Theater Week. And so you can also purchase discounted tickets on Theater Week. So if you just look up Theater Week Chicago, you'll see a link to get to those tickets as well.
And you're saying for the other plays Broadway and Chicago's got going, you can get tickets for $30 for that.
Yep. For
Oh,
those
so it's
shows
not
too. So
just
Stereophonic.
your. Yeah,
Nope.
I seen Stereophonic last night, and it's great.
It's great, right?
It's great.
Yeah.
If you've ever
So
been in a band, not to get off subject, but if you've ever been in a band or know somebody being in a band, it's so exact. It's so
exact.
exact.
I'm excited to see it. So it's I think Stereophonic, I think The Outsiders, I think Phantom of the Opera. Those are all things that are showing now Broadway in Chicago. So the 30 for $30 I think extends over all of their shows. But you got to buy the tickets on the 30th, and you don't have to see the play on the 30th. You just have to buy the tickets on the 30th. And you
Okay.
save yourself $14 if you go down to the box office. Because if you buy them online, they're going to charge you those little
Yeah, of
extra
course.
fees. So if you go to the box office, you can get every ticket for $30
Now,
today.
when is the theater week end? This tomorrow
I,
or?
I think Theater Week ends the second week of February.
Oh, that's
But it starts
fantastic.
the first week of February, and so tickets have been on sale now for about, I want to say, about a week. They started selling tickets. But they sell it for just a slew of plays all over the city. So if you're interested in seeing any of the plays, go to Theater Week, Chicago. Just look up Chicago Theater Week, and it'll take you to a link, and it'll have all the shows that are playing that have discounted tickets in the city for Theater Week.
That's fantastic. That's some great information. I'd like to thank you You're refreshing and informative,
Thank
and
you. Pleasure
and
to be here.
and Gabrielle, it's amazing that you worked regular stuff and like all of us citizens, but you went back to your heart.
I did. I did. I had to. And you're an artist, so
Yeah, I'm
that
still
pull.
struggling, but at least I get to do what I think of, and I say it all the time. If people think I'm kidding, but I would be when I was little, I was doing it for free.
See what I mean?
I never thought I would actually get paid for it. My mama used to say, "Oh, that radio stuff, that singing stuff, you ain't gonna never make a living." Yes, I have, Mama. Rest in peace, Mama. But I did. And even though your folks tried to get you to do other things, you did other things, but you came back to your heart, and I
I did,
commend you
and
for that.
they are my biggest supporters. So they came full circle too.
Okay, so tell them one more time about the play and where to go to get tickets.
Okay. The play is Eureka Day. It is at the Broadway Playhouse at the Water Tower, downtown Chicago. You can get tickets at Broadway in Chicago. You can get tickets at Timeline Theater,
Oh
um,
wow.
or you can get tickets at Ticketmaster. And the play it is running until the 22nd of February. And it's really, really funny and it's really, really poignant. And I think everybody will appreciate it.
Okay, and you get a chance to see our hometown girl, Gabrielle
Yep.
Lott Rogers, too.
Yes, you will.
Okay. I wish I had met you before I seen the play, but I may go back since it's $30 there. I may go buy me 2 tickets real quick to see it one more time before y'all leave town because that's how good the play is. And thank you for
Well,
your
thank
time.
you. We've had a couple of repeat offenders too, so that's really encouraging. So that means we're doing something right.
That's right. Okay, so thank you for your time and thank you, fellows Chicagoans, for coming back home to work.
Well, thank you. I
Okay,
love
bye bye.
Chicago. Bear down now.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.